How confident were you in the last 10 or 15 laps that you had enough to make it to the end and that you were going to be able to hold them off?
As soon as the jack dropped and we took out of pit road, Slugger said, "Save me fuel, long gears." And so under caution, we had another lap. I think we were going green that time, but caught up and just killed the motor, coasting as much as possible. The restart, you got to go. Past a couple cars. Once it kind of got cycled out, just started trying to maintain some kind of lap time with just being really easy on the throttle, easy off, earlier than normal, less brake, easy on. Once it got really strung out, I was lifting at the 250 mark when normally you drive to the 1. Just try not to use any brake, but still using the tires, try to keep your roll speed fast. And there's probably about a 15 lap, maybe even 20 lap run or span where I wasn't even wide open. Just get it up to like 8,500 RPM, and if I see Mark catch me a little bit in my mirror, I'd give a little bit more. If I saw him dropping back, I'd back off. So just really watching the mirror, trying to maintain some kind of lap time and gap with the cars behind me. And then we obviously kept track of, Slugger kept telling me where Jeff was, the 24. He was catching us 2-3 seconds a lap. And when he got to 2 or 3 seconds behind us, he said take off, and the car was really good. Clean air is so important, and we had it right there, and the car was just awesome in clean air. We got behind early. Wasn't as good, but played strategy to a T.
Bruce Meyer with SI.com. 2 questions for Paul. One, you really took a big step toward making the chase today with that victory. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think we're 14th now with the wild card. It's great. We got 5 or 6 races left. We got a lot of work to do. We have Richmond and New Hampshire. Richmond before the chase starts, and those are 2 of our worst tracks, honestly. So we got a lot of work to do. We're going to rely on our teammates a lot. They typically run well at the short tracks, and we just got to get that program figured out. We feel really good about intermediate tracks. We have a couple of those. Looking forward to Atlanta.
For $1 million.
For $1 million, we're eligible for, thanks to Sprint, and.
You're eligible for the Sprint Summer Showdown and also eligible for the 2012 NASCAR Sprint All-Star.
That's right. I forgot about the All-Star. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank God for that.
Man,
I hate that challenge race.
Had a lot of tore-up race cars in that thing.
And, Paul, also the fact that today was a perfect example of guys who are prepared to make bold moves, and Slugger might want to answer this also. How much can we expect to see some other guys between now and Richmond making, win-or-go-home type gambles to get the victory in order to try to get in as a wild card?
Yeah, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. Anytime fuel mileage comes into play, there's guys that are going to run out, the guys that probably going to win the race. And it's just the Sprint Cup Series is just so competitive. It's so hard to pass. Everybody runs so close together. You got to gamble, and very rarely do you see a car just check out and win the race. A lot of strategy, a lot of clean air, and you're going to see it happen, next few races.
Yeah, for us, I think we still got to be pushing, and we're 14th in points with a win, but that doesn't guarantee you a thing. There's a lot of things that could happen. Ryan Newman's currently in the top 10. He could fall out, take the spot away from us, so we got to keep pushing, be aggressive. And get inside the top 10 and make it that way and not rely on this victory today.
We'll go Jenna and the gentleman on the back row.
Jennifer, AP. Slugger, you've been really high on this team all year, and I know you wouldn't trade your first win being the Brickyard, but are you surprised it took this long?
Well, we had big shoes to fill. When we started the Monday after Homestead, we didn't have anything. We didn't have a truck, trailer, race cars, nothing. So to be a first-year team and win a race is just short of amazing to me, but we had great people at RCR. No one is belly ached. They all opened their arms. Really receptive people. Built us. Don't tell Richard, but this is our 15th new car this year. So
I see it in the financials.
But they didn't give us hand-me-downs. They let us build the cars how we wanted them. Richard let us hire the people we needed. Got a great pit crew, and just he let us do our job. And we run the race teams like we own them. And we manage our money, and we try to make sure we don't waste money, but we take what we need to be successful, and today was a living proof of that.
And real quick, Richard, what do you make of first-time race winners in all these big races this year? Bain in the 500 and Regan in the Southern 500, et cetera.
You know, I think it just shows how competitive this sport is, and this car is so equal. You got to have the right people, the right driver. Everything has to come together to win in today's sport. You're not going to see anyone just take off and run away with it. You know, today you saw Jimmy Johnson sitting there running second for quite a while, and then gets back in traffic, and it's just hard to go. And like Slugger says, and Paul can tell you, track position is everything.
Mike Clef, WLFI TV, West Lafayette, Indiana. Paul, congratulations. In this room about 45 minutes ago, Regan and Jeff, Regan considers you a friend, but they got asked more about you than they got asked about their own performances, and they were genuinely thrilled to talk about you. And they both said that you're a highly respected driver among drivers. I know this is an awesome day for you, but what does it mean that other drivers are genuinely happy for you today?
Well, I hope Regan would say that. I'm in his wedding, so. But you know, for Jeff to say that, you know, we've had run-ins on the track. Everybody has, but for a guy of his caliber to say that, it means a lot. He came to victory lane. Regan came to victory lane. I didn't realize that Regan finished third, so really happy for him too. You know, I watched Jeff win the inaugural Brickyard 400, so. To have him come down in victory lane after finishing second to us, very special. And I've always gotten along great with Jeff and Regan, obviously.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. For John, after more than 3 decades in racing, what did it mean to you to finally get Paul in a position with an organization where the money that you had invested in, you've invested in so many different disciplines throughout motorsports, but to see that money put to, you know, optimum use to give Paul the kind of, you know, opportunity that he deserved to have?
Well, first of all, you know, a lot of the investment we made in motorsports over the years has been good for our business. I think it's really a good form of advertising. I believe it's a good form of promotion. I think that motorsports promotions are underrated a lot by some of the people in advertising. And if you look at what you can buy a sponsorship for of a race team versus, say, some golf or some of the ball and stick type sports, you know, motorsports is pretty good buy in a way. So from a business standpoint, I'd say that investing in motorsports is a fairly wise investment. From investing in motorsports teams, there are some that give you a better return, let's say, for your investment than others. And Richard's team gives a very, very good return because he takes the money and he puts it back into the cars, the people, the research, the engines, the things that you need to win. And if there's anybody in motorsports that knows how to do it, it's Richard. And I'm proud to be associated with him. I'm proud that Paul can do what he does, and by God, guys, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Money well spent.